The other thing that's going on is there, in response to this spill from the pipeline out in Arkansas, there was a fake Twitter account that was launched called Exxon Cares, reminiscent of the BP Global PR account, which was launched shortly after the BP oil spill in the Gulf. Both of which were basically satirical and yet drawing attention to kind of the inappropriate or the bad things that were happening. One of my favorite things that Exxon Care has tweeted this week is that somebody tweeted completely unrelated, how do you get an oil stain out of a wood floor? And Exxon Care replied saying, try using a duck. And I think that sort of captures the essence.
We're talking with Alan Rosenblatt, Dr. Digipole, the senior social media guru for Take Action News with David Shuster. Alan, I have in studio with me today as my sort of co-host, Dana C. Bell. Dana is the social media associate for Media Matters for America, though as we've made clear, none of the views that she presents here represent Media Matters for America, and Dana is also an upcoming stand-up comic. Dana, I wonder if you have any questions for Alan or insights and comments about his social media prowess.
I was wondering, in terms of these like parody accounts, I think that there's a little bit of oversaturation with them, but how that's been used, how you think that engages people on social media in terms of these big mess-ups, big corporate mess-ups like the Exxon oil spill.
Well, let me just say that, like the population of comedians, the complete list of music in any generation, there's always going to be some really good ones and a lot of really bad ones. Mm-hmm. And that's just the nature of how things work. You know, everybody tries and some people succeed. So the oversaturation, you know, the ones that aren't good just don't get the kind of followers that they need, that matter. As far as the ones that are funny, that are making a good, valuable point, who do grow their audiences, I think it's incredibly valuable. One of my favorite examples is, you know, immediately on the heels of Mitt Romney's gaffe about binders full of women, a Twitter account and a Facebook page was launched called Binders Full of Women. It got a lot of followers and fans immediately because of the news hype associated with it, but it has been able to sustain and grow since then and continue its focus on issues related to women equality, women in the workforce, all of that stuff, which I think is a really important issue. And as a result of this parody account that launched in response to a gaffe, we now have a really powerful channel that allows us to engage that issue. So I think these Exxon Cares and BP Global PR channels, I think you end up seeing that they can really draw attention to an issue in a way that cuts through the noise because it's funny. And, we all realize we live in a world where the vast majority of young people in this country get their news from The Daily Show and The Colbert Report. Why? Because the format, aside from the fact that they cover the news, the format is really entertaining. And art is always more powerful than politics.
It's so funny, Alan. When I think about the proliferation of fake Twitter accounts, it just boggles the mind. I mean, literally seconds after someone says something, during the presidential debates, it was Romney's Binders had a Twitter account, Horses and Bayonets, when Obama said we don't have as many horses and bayonets in the military, that had a fake Twitter account. When Senator Chuck Grassley, the senior senator from Iowa, said assume deer dead, he had run over a deer, there was a Twitter account right away with Chuck Grassley's deer. Is there a point of diminishing return here? Will this play itself out where people just stop paying attention to fake Twitter accounts?
So let me just say, you brought up a few different kinds of examples. The Grassley's deer one was a funny joke, but it had no enduring value. And so, done. The Invisible Obama, after Clint Eastwood's chair fiasco, I think they've changed the name of the account a couple of times, so it becomes sort of a rebranded new joke every time a new opportunity happens. but the audience stays along, and so it automatically has that exposure. I don't think in the long run that it's going to cause any problem, because there are just so many millions of Twitter accounts that the idea that there are too many joke accounts and parody accounts isn't going to be an issue, because relative to the total number, it's not that much. And to be honest, people love laughing. And if you hit on something that's
breaking news right there from Alan Rosenblatt. People love laughing. Only here on Take Action News with David Shuster will you hear breaking news insights like that. Alan, I couldn't agree more, and I'll just say for the record that two of my favorite satire accounts are Fire Tom Friedman, which is making fun of Tom Friedman, The Dersh, which is making fun of Alan Dershowitz, a sort of hawkish, I guess, foreign policy and Israel advocate in many ways, and I would say at Alan K. Simpson, which is making fun of Alan Simpson, and so I encourage people to check that out. Alan Rosenblatt, Dr. Digipol, our social media guru. Always love talking to you on Take Action News, Alan. Thanks for joining us again.
Always a pleasure. Take care, Daniel.
Coming up next on Take Action News, we're going to do a weekly roundup of some of the activism opportunities that are out there. Then we're going to have our Activist of the Week at the half-hour mark at 2:30. You're not going to want to miss that, so stay tuned when Take Action News continues after this.